and welcome to Conversations with the Goodman School of Business. I'm Susan LeBlanc, and with me today are Najlaa Rauf, our Student Engagement Coordinator here at the Goodman School of Business, and a couple of students, Rudy Ambrosio, the President of the Business Students Association, and Neil Bourque, President of the Graduate Business Council. Our topic today, since we have a couple of students with us and Najlaa, is student engagement here at Goodman. So Najlaa, maybe you can tell us a little bit about what your office does.
Sure. So the Student Engagement Office at the Goodman School of Business is the portfolio oversees anything related to do with extracurricular involvement for Goodman business students. So the office actually has a mixed bag of pieces in its portfolio, because what we do understand here at the business school is that student engagement ranges from prospective student recruitment at the undergraduate level, where we want to make sure we're engaging them from day one coming into the business school, then opportunities to make sure that they get well-oriented into all the involvement pieces, career opportunities, exchange opportunities that they have with different departments in the business school, and then also working very closely with our business student clubs, which you'll hear about in a minute, as well, to ensure that their programming is inclusive to all business students on campus under the business school, under Goodman School of Business. And finally, ensuring that as young alumni, they're transitioning out and have opportunities to engage up until the end of their fourth year, so that when our alumni office works with them afterwards, they are already understanding of the processes and how they can get involved when they leave the business school.
So what does Goodman do to get students involved?
We have a variety of opportunities available for them on campus, whether it's through our career development office, whether they can go on international exchanges to another business school. So what our office does for business students is we ensure that this information is being provided to them on a variety of different platforms, but our biggest ambassadors are our student leaders. So our student leaders are the kind of the premier group of students who they're doing peer-to-peer networking on a regular basis. They're working with different departments on campus to ensure that there's opportunities for these students to be involved. We just ran our second annual Goodman Spirit Week for students as well. So an opportunity for our first year students to learn about the variety of services available through table talks. Our student clubs hosted a variety of sessions where they could come and understand how they can be involved. We also do case competition coaching and provide opportunities for students to be involved in case competitions, whether through our student groups or Goodman actually. We send students to about 2 or 3 fully funded competitions throughout the year too as well. So the biggest piece is all business students actually pay into a student levy, and that is administered at the undergraduate level with our Business Students Association. So maybe what I can do is have Rudy here chat a little bit about what happens at the undergraduate level, and Neil can then kind of take it off on what graduate students would do from there.
Absolutely. So it all starts from day one, really, when you enter first year and you actually come to the Goodman orientation. From then on, you get introduced to all the student clubs that the Business Students Association houses. And as Najlaa mentioned, the student levy is meant for us to help students, whether you're in first, second, third, and fourth year, to build those soft skills that you wouldn't necessarily learn in the classroom. So you have your technical skills, which you learn going to class. However, if you get involved with the BSA, you now have these soft skills which you can actually apply to those technical skills, and it almost gives you that competitive advantage. And I think it's absolutely key, especially when you're going into job interviews and whatnot. So going back to the student levy, you pay into it and you get opportunities such as you get business cards that are available for you when you go to networking opportunities, or you can enter case competitions. We have development opportunities that can work on your resume, cover letter. And it all goes back to building those soft skills and differentiating yourselves from other schools, because again, we are all competing for that job after our 4 or 5 year studying at Bourque. So it's super key and super important to get involved, because it's going to help you differentiate yourself among the competition.
I'm sure it's the same at the graduate level.
Absolutely, yeah. So we're bringing in students from a variety of different backgrounds from their undergraduate degrees, and we try to bring them together so that we can build their business skills right from day one. So again, just as the undergraduate level, day one at orientation, we try to provide the opportunities and let students know how they can get involved. And from there we build throughout their two years of their degree. What the GBC, the Graduate Business Council, tries to do is provide workshops along with case competition training and experiences. Advanced Excel training is a significant one, taking the learning experience from outside the classroom and bringing it into a whole new level, as well as financial modeling. And our SaaS training is actually new last year, the SaaS software training. It really partners well with the data analytics degree concentration that we have now. But the graduate level, we have a variety of different ages as well in our students, and to be able to bring the different experiences that students have from working experience or just even their undergraduate degrees really brings a whole new level to getting students engaged.
So what would, like, why is student engagement so important? Maybe you can talk about some of the personal experiences you've had, some of the things that you've done, maybe some of the competitions, things that you've been involved with. Rudy?
I just think from a personal level, it's super important to differentiate yourself and get to know your peers within the school. I mean, yeah, going to class, it's great. Absolutely encourage it for everyone. However, if you don't get involved and put yourself out there, you're never going to learn. And I think by getting involved and being engaged with the school, you challenge yourself and you learn things about yourself that you would never experienced before. And student engagement is just so important. Again, I'm not going to go back to the resume, but it does help build soft skills. You learn a lot about yourself that, again, like I mentioned before, you would never learn before. And I think it's key for everyone to get involved and to engage themselves within the community, whether it's at Goodman or externally in the Niagara community as a whole. So engagement isn't necessarily going to class, showing up, raising your hand, answering questions. It's beyond that, and I think it's going out there, getting to know your peers, and being able to give back to Goodman, because that's what being engaged is all about, being able to give back what was given to you when you first came.
How long have you been involved with the BSA now?
Roughly with the BSA, it's my first year. However, I did work for the subsidiary club, the Human Resource Management Association, last year, and it's been about 2.5 years that I've been involved with a Goodman student club, and never looked back and wish I've done it earlier, to be honest with you.
Yeah. And Neil, you had a similar experience because you did your undergrad with Goodman.
Correct, yeah.
And you were involved at the undergrad level as well.
Yep.
And so once you got into the grad program...
Couldn't leave.
Yep, that's right. So
no, when I was in my undergrad, I got involved I was on 3 different co-op placements. I did an exchange to the Netherlands and Maastricht University. Both great experiences, but also in my final year, I was president of the Accounting Students Association, and that was great to be able to work with one of the largest groups of students at Goodman. Delegate for 4 different case competitions, traveling across Canada. Placed first at a case competition in Edmonton, and now this year I'm back doing my MBA in order to help me get my credits for my CPA designation, and I couldn't come back without getting involved. So getting involved with the GBC was a great opportunity, and again, I can't emphasize enough how important it is to get involved.
it's a little bit more of a challenge at the graduate level because most of the students are here maybe for only 1 year, some 2 years, and so it's a bit more of a challenge, I think, to get people to get involved for that shorter period of time. How are you going to overcome that?
It is a challenge. Last week, actually, we just held our second Goodman Cup internal case competition, and this is where we try to engage the first years right off the bat, provide them with the training for case competitions, as a lot of them are coming in with different undergraduate degrees. A lot of them don't have the business skills that we're teaching at the Goodman School of Business, so to be able to get them within their first month and a half of being here and showing them the basics, basically, so that way they can take it into their courses even. Yeah,
because that's right, because they come from different backgrounds, different ages. There's a real variety at the graduate level.
So it is a little difficult, but we try to showcase right from day one, right at orientation, here's what you can be 2 years a year and a half down the road into your degree and be able to go on to those external case competitions.
And just as important at the graduate level as it is at the undergrad level.
Because it's not just about the experience that you have, it's also about, as Rudy mentioned, the soft skills that you have and how you develop them, and even just meeting different people from different experiences, getting to know people who are outside of the business degree, science degrees and arts degrees. So it's a great experience. Highly encourage it to everybody in any facet of the Goodman School of Business.
So what would be, from both of you, one of your sort of greatest moments or best memories that you think you're going to have of something that you've done through your involvement with the different organizations?
Absolutely. So one thing that I always look back to, and I definitely think it's one of my greatest highlights so far being at Goodman, was the JDC Central Case Competition. It's a huge case competition held in Canada for all these central universities. Just giving some background here, there was 14 universities that attended last year, and I happened to be on the HR team with two other of my teammates and colleagues. And Goodman did extremely well as a whole, but the HR team placed third place overall, and it was just being called up to the podium. It's just I can't even explain it. It was just a great experience. Being there, everyone's cheering you on, and like there's so much anticipation and there's so much hype. You're waiting for your school to be called, and then it gets called, and you don't know what to do. You don't know who to look to. You're looking to all your teammates, and you're looking to faculty. Najlaa happened to be there, so she experienced it as well. As we have a video of it, and I sometimes just to motivate myself watch it.
Watch it,
definitely one of the highlights.
I think it sort of helps build like a family atmosphere to you. Like you become a bonded group when you're out at these competitions.
You become so close, and you do become a family, especially because you're training with these people every week, and you're spending about 9 hours a week trying to prep for the competition, and then you get to know each other on a personal level. And again, you build these key networks that not only you can refer to while you're in school, but once you graduate as alumni, you're always going to have them in your close network, and it's super beneficial.
And it's interesting you say that because, I mean, you're still in school now, so you're not experiencing that. But we've certainly seen that the students who've been involved, when they become alumni, they're still very good friends, and they're still getting together, and they come out to all our alumni events, and it's really great. I mean, you're building lifelong friends.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And that's part of the reason why we try to build a community at the business school while you're students here, and why our office is so involved in making sure that or trying to at least provide these opportunities to students, because we hear so many success stories and we see so much growth over the years that it's great to see the students afterwards as alumni still getting together, and still I'm sure Neil can tell you he still meets with his cohort, and they still have dinners once once in a while too as well, and just to hear about the successes, and just to Rudy's point before you move, Neil tells us about his favorite moment. One student leader just through getting involved with JDCC and through getting involved with the BSA, actually was able to network with a prior alumni, and has now secured a contract position within that alumni's organization. And it's through those conversations and through being able to showcase the skill sets that you have that you're able to utilize your peer network. And if you don't build that network now, then you're not able to utilize it as well when you graduate. So that's part of the engagement piece is to be able to do that. That's
the other thing we find is when you graduate, because you will, we find the alumni who were involved still want to be involved, which is great for your clubs now, because more and more we're getting, when you need judges for your events or people to come for whatever reason, the grads who were involved in things like DECA or JDCC, they're going to come out because they remember what it was like, and they're more than happy to do it. Absolutely. So we didn't mean to skip over you. What's your favorite moment?
First of all, I'll give a shout out to the first GSAB group. We do still get together for dinners and to meet up, so it's a great opportunity. But my favorite experience, I definitely love the case competitions. Absolutely got involved with a bunch of them, but the Goodman Exchange, I think, was my favorite. so far. That was in my third year where I was able to travel to Europe in the Netherlands, in Maastricht University, and be able to be with students who are there for the same reason, to learn different cultures, to learn about a whole different country, and learn the politics and the business skills that you develop in a totally different place. So my Goodman exchange was definitely one of the best experiences I've had so far. And then coming back as part of the GBC, obviously, my 1 year here, so I just couldn't get away. So definitely
well, and
one
we're
of the
glad.
highlights.
We're glad. I think Najlaa kind of had something to do with that, didn't she? She sort of said, so we're not going to let you go.
Yeah.
Before we wrap up, maybe if there's any events coming up or things you want to talk about.
Sure, go ahead, Rudy.
Yeah.
So just nothing specific. There's the etiquette dinner happening next week, hosted by Goodman Career. So I encourage everyone to register on the Goodman Career website. But there's many opportunities that our current clubs have in terms of positions. So if you go on Career Zone and you look at volunteer opportunities under the job board, you'll see I think there's about 13 to 14 positions that all clubs are looking to hire right now. So many opportunities to get involved. Even if you are a third or fourth year, I still encourage it because it's a great opportunity. And again, going back to building that network. But in terms of that is it. And then Neil has a couple other events that he'll mention.
Yeah. So the GBC is partnered with Goodman Career, and we're going to be running one of the How to Get a Job series events. So the GBC is running How to Get a Job in Operations and Supply Chain. It's running November 9th. I believe registration is open. If not, it'll be open soon. And the GBC is also running our Advanced Excel workshop November 21st. Registration will be open within the next week or so. So that'll be on Career Zone.
Great. Fabulous. I think that wraps it up for this edition of Conversations, Goodman School of Business. Be sure to check us out. We'll be doing these periodically, and we have our weekly broadcast of Good Morning Goodman with Najlaa and I, where we'll give you a rundown of the upcoming events for the week. And also have a watch out for the university's podcasts. The Bourque News does a regular podcast, and there's a research podcast as well. So thank you very much.
Thank you for
Thank
having
you.
us here.
Yeah.
And we look forward to seeing you soon.